It is launch day on Hulu for pretty baby Brooke Shields, which is why we were so lucky to have my co-producer for the show, Allie Wentworth.
Oh, hello,
yes,
my partner.
How are you? Director Lana Wilson here. Thank you both for coming in, Lana.
Thanks.
You had a baby while you were making this film, and the film comes out. Which made you more nervous?
Equally, no. The baby was a little more nerve-wracking for the long-lasting repercussions.
But how does it feel to finally have it out in the world?
It feels incredible. I'm so excited. I mean, it's already started so many conversations, and I'm excited to see where those conversations go now that it's out there. So it's really a thrilling day.
And it's such teamwork. I loved at the premiere how you talked about how you had the baby and how everybody just stepped up because
these guys, yeah. I mean, really, I said I was having a baby, and there was no concern about the edit schedule or anything like that. They gave me cupcakes. You basically threw like a surprise baby shower for me. It was really moving, and a lot of people don't get that when they go on leave.
And now we get the baby. Because I'm 104 and I want more kids.
No. But also as your baby is Bed by 8, your production company. And this is the debut.
I know.
Why did you want Brooke's story to be your first project?
You know, Brooke is one of my best friends, and for years I've said to her, you gotta tell the story of your life. It is so complicated. And she was like, yeah, I don't know. I can't really find the right person. So when we started our company, that was the first thing. I said, we have got to do this Brooke story because it is so multi-layered. And it was no question we wanted Lana Wilson. We didn't even meet anybody else because she is, an incredible filmmaker, but a woman that understands all the nuances of this film and understands how to tell a story in this way and hit all the important cultural points of what we're trying to say. And I said to George this morning, like right out of the gate, this is our first project. We need to just close shop.
Right,
We're never going to be this good again. Like, get ready for 6 failures now from Bed by 8.
Now, Lana, of course, you were coming up during the Taylor Swift documentary, Miss Americana, and you weren't necessarily looking to do another celebrity documentary.
Yeah. Well, I'm not interested in famous person problems, and that I'm not interested in it's hard to do photo shoots all day, or it's hard to be on tour and away from home.
It
is hard. But what I am really interested in is how being famous amplifies and supercharges these really relatable human problems. So I'm always looking for what is the human story underneath everything, and what is the transformation.
And it's amazing how relatable. You don't think so. You don't think I have anything in common. And then yet when you're watching the film, it comes through.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, when I first saw footage of Brooke at age 12 on the press tour for her controversial debut, the original Pretty Baby, I remember being struck seeing her interviewed by all these talk show hosts who were at once praising her beauty and her sensuality, and you look so lovely, but on the other hand, criticizing her for being too sexual and going too far. And I thought that was a very contemporary dynamic, one that I think is still going on, that I related to, of you are taught, if you grow up as a girl, that the way you look is very important, and that being desirable and hot is where your value comes from. But if you go too far and cross some kind of invisible line, you're punished and criticized.
That archival footage really is something. You talk about the moment when you first saw the hard drive.
Yes, well, at our first meeting, you guys were there. I met Brooke for the first time. She handed me this hard drive that her mother, Terry, had made, where Terry had collected over 50 years of footage, including outtakes from a never before seen, never finished documentary called Look at Brooke that Terry had commissioned. And so I took this hard drive home, thousands of video clips, hundreds and hundreds of photos, and I just started opening random files and seeing this crazy range of material, but also seeing what you mentioned earlier, just this deeply relatable stuff, because I don't think a lot has changed in the last 40 years. Some things have changed a little bit, but in a lot of ways, it's still the same.
Yeah. We've talked about how with social media now, which didn't exist when Brooke was a baby, but with social media now, Lana talks so much in the film about how, young girls were objectified, but now with the tool of the phone and social media, young girls can objectify themselves. And there's a lesson in, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be a product. You don't have to sell yourself that way. And I think this is going to resonate for a lot of younger generations as well.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of girls and especially teenagers posting on social media are largely, imitating what they see around them. We're all imitating what we see around us. And I think there's a real responsibility for the adults who are making the dominant visual culture to think about what different types of femininity and sexuality, how much of a range are they actually showing, and what impact does that have?
Let's take a look at a clip.
All of a sudden, you are just everywhere, and everybody has something to say, and it's not all positive. From that moment on, I was no longer just a model who was an actress. I became a focal point for so many things, good and bad.
Allie, I was telling you at the premiere, Brooke was sitting right behind me, and so it was to hear her reaction to certain things that were happening on screen like that. You have known her for so long. What has the transformation been like for her from the start of this documentary to where she is now?
I'm telling you, before we did the documentary, Brooke was anxious, nervous, sort of looking at, different career opportunities. She went through this journey with Lana. And the other day, she had done a whole day of press, and she came over to our apartment, and she was lying on the couch, my dog on her chest. And she said, for the first time in my life, I actually feel like I have agency on my life. I feel like I told my story with Lana the way I wanted to tell it. And she said, I feel so empowered. And I was like,
Can't do better than that.
Yeah.
cannot do better than that. And you see it. You see it at the end of the movie, and you'll see it when you run into her on the street.
Lana, Allie, thank you very much.
George, partner.
Really good, yeah.
Congratulations, George.
It's a big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you,
I know
Rob.
they were
so much.
excited to work with you, and I'm sure you were equally excited
It
to
was
work
an
with
honor and a thrill to get to work with both of
As
them.
for us,
Thank
it
you
was
guys.
for us.
Pretty Baby Brooke Shields streaming right now on Hulu.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.